All right, so that's 4 miles. So he told us to report a 3-mile initial.
Yep.
So when I'm 3 miles from the runway, I'll give him a shout. I'm offset from the runway just a little bit so that I can see it when I go into the break. And I'm a little bit fast. I want to be doing this at 200 knots. Albatros 29 Victor Papa is on a 3-mile initial 2-4 option.
Albatros 9 Victor Papa, roger, report right base 2-4.
Albatros. All right, so here we are, 1,500 feet-ish, 200 knots, flying pretty much right over the runway.
Right.
And this is how we did it in the F-16. This is how we do it in the Air Force and Navy. And I could have 3 wingmen in close formation, and we would all do the same thing.
Roger.
Okay. All right, so this is going to be a 180-degree right turn. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. That's pretty much midfield. Here we go. Speed brakes come out. Power back a little bit, and I'm using just a little bit of back pressure in G to help me slow the airplane down. Turning to downwind.
Yeah. You gonna deploy flaps?
In a sec. First thing will be the gear. So below 180 knots, here's the gear coming down.
All right.
A little bit high, 100 feet high. Below 180, we'll put the flaps down.
Gears down.
Yeah, down 3 green. Speed brakes are extended, and I want the speed brakes out. Here comes full flaps. There's that wingtip tank on the runway, right?
Yep. The wingtip is on the runway. Yep.
Yeah. So gear down, 3 green. 2 good hydraulic pressures, full flaps. Driving out to about a 45. 9 Victor Pop's on a right, downwind, 2-4 for the stop.
9 Victor Papa, runway 24, clear to land.
Go ahead, 2-4, 9 Victor Pop. All right, so now, about 45 degrees of bank. I'm not really looking at the end of the runway. I'm looking at where I want to roll out. Shooting for about 140 knots in the turn here. I'm a little bit fast. But again, I want to roll out on final, about 1 mile, 300 feet. Still a little bit fast. That's okay.
All right. You're doing 140.
Yeah, pretty much doing it, right?
Yeah. Just cut back in the power when you get there.
Yeah, it should be okay. Gears down, gears down. You're rolling out on final right around 300 feet. All right, now we'll slow down, start working it back to 120. Should look a little drug into you, Orlando. Should look a little shallow. The approach should look a little shallow to you. That's okay.
Yep.
That's how this airplane lands. Gears down. And it's just aim point airspeed the whole way in. Aim point airspeed. Aim point airspeed. Idle. That's it.
Oh, man.
That's all there is to it.
I didn't know I was so high up, you know?
Yeah, it is kind of a high flare. That was kind of a high flare.
It looks like make Bravo, Bravo Alpha Hotel, cross runway 1129 to Atlantic.
Bravo Alpha Hotel, cross 1129 Atlantic, 9 o'clock. That's fun.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure, bud. Thank you, Orlando. I really enjoyed getting to meet you.
Now I get to fly a little bit more. Back to Farmingdale.
Yeah. I tell you what, I would let you taxi, but I want you to feel good about this experience. And if I let you taxi, I don't think you're going to feel good about it because it's so hard your first time that I think it'll just piss you off.
Throw everything overboard.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay. You can see how I'm constantly throwing the rudder pedals around, right? To
Yeah.
taxi this thing. No phone calls today, right?
No phone calls.
So far, no. I'm impressed, my friend.
Yeah, well, we were a good neighbor. We actually talked to Bradley Approach and Boston Center.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah.
See, I'm sure they're happy that you guys picked it up.
Yeah, I think so. They were pretty cool.
What you guys did today?
We normally work an aerobatic box that's about 20 miles north of Oxford, and it's about 20 miles east of the Pauling VOR. When I go through there in my Airbus, in my other job, going like Boston and Newark, there's a fair amount of traffic that goes through there. But it is, no kidding, aerobatic box. It's legal and all that, but you just got to be really careful.
Yeah, it's like they set that up there and then get mad when someone uses it for what it's there for, I guess.
Exactly. Well, hey, when you come and flying with me?
Is that an invitation?
Absolutely.
I gotta cover fuel though, right?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Just call over to Atlantic and they'll tell you how to get a hold of me.
Yeah, sounds good, thanks.
Of course. The last time I went fly in Boston, I didn't bother talking to Boston. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Right.
And they got kind of pissed and called down to here and said, tell that jerk off to talk to us on the radio when he's working VFR up there. So I was like, okay, fine, I will. Usually I do. Just on that particular day, I didn't feel like doing it. So.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Orlando, I'm going to go ahead and get unstrapped on a depressurized cabin there.
Yep.
And that looks good. Engine's coming off.
Bridgeport Tower, Skyhawk 51616 with...
All right, my friend, feel free to open that canopy.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Skyhawk 51616, Bridgeport Tower, roger, thanks for Oscar. Let me get it.